There are a number of people that are applauding Cory Booker for speaking for 25 hours. I got to admit, that shit's impressive. I can't do it. He broke Strom Thurmond's record for the filibuster. But was it really a filibuster? There's a number of people who are talking about the things that he did say, but they're not talking about what he did not say. And that's what we're going to get into here. Nina Turner had a really good point. Technically, this is not a filibuster because it's not blocking any specific nominee or legislation. I'll repeat. Technically, this is not a filibuster because it's not blocking any specific nominee or legislation. Thank you. Yeah. But that's what corporate media, everybody was calling a filibuster. What Cory Booker was doing is he was speaking against Donald Trump's agenda, but not a specific piece of legislation or a nominee, just speaking out against Donald Trump's agenda. And I keep saying that because when I tell you what he did not talk about, that is going to be important. So that's what Cory was doing there. We're going to go into some of the conversation here after him talking. And Cory, to me, it just,
Would you be?
Cory, to me, is just always so fake. Like, I swear to God, if there was an Oscar for politicians, Cory would probably win that. I met Cory Booker in 2020. I saw him speak in New Hampshire. He was running for president then. And that's really what this is about, folks. Don't get it twisted. This is really Cory Booker trying to make himself look like, hey, I should be the one that you should want to run for president in 2028. That's really what I think this is about. Just keeping it real. But I saw Cory, and I've never seen someone so fake before in my life. First of all, you don't have to do this to me every time you're speaking, You really ain't got to do that. It was just overdone. So he was just very fake. And people could tell. I think people in New Hampshire could tell that, right? So after his 25, here he comes in here, and everybody's making Cory Booker look like some hero. I almost said some whore. I'm so sorry. I was trying to say I meant hero.
You willing to share what you've heard back from your constituents, from citizens, because now you've had some time to digest the response?
Not as much. My staff has sort of been dosing out some things to me as I've tried to, just physically recover, even though my spirit is really soaring. Sure. The gratitude from people whose voices I've elevated, who write to their senator with really personal, painful stories, to know that those people were in some ways affected by the fact that I read their letters and told their stories and talked to their pain and anger. That relieves me. I just want to make sure that I'm always respecting people who tell me about their challenges with Parkinson's or dementia or their challenges with disabled children. But to hear from Americans that feel really ignited and inspired, especially those who aren't that political or not that kind of base partisanship. That was really what I was dreaming of, is that somehow I could strike a chord that wasn't the normal left-right debates, but that in many ways could lift us beyond those to talk about a larger moral moment.
Okay, you were able to read letters. Whoopity-dip-dip-doo. Because some people are saying, yay, Cory Booker's out there fighting like hell. Fighting for what? You're not even speaking against said legislation. There was no legislation on the table that you're speaking against. What are you fighting for? That was Cory Booker trying to make himself look good, and what he is hoping would elevate even more his political career. That's really what this is about. Let's not forget Cory Booker moved to the projects in Newark, New Jersey, so that he could try to win that mayor race. Don't forget that. I watched the whole story about Cory Booker. Yes, before I went to see him speak, I watched the whole story about Cory Booker, and I always had this kind of feeling about people who are pretty well off financially and they go and move to a poor areas. It's kind of like, I'm not feeling you. I know what you're trying to do. Right. So I watched that whole story. And his political stuff, especially when he was running for mayor, that wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy fight for him. But eventually he got hooked up with the right lobbyists and the right donors, and he moves into the Senate. And he's very fake. If you try to ask him about Gaza or anything like that, he'll just pretend you're not there, ignore you, walk away. He's very fake. And the more I saw who he really was, I said to myself, damn, I see why Rosario Dawson left you. I see why Rosario pieced out.
We showed some of the international reaction, which again is not how the Senate, let alone the Democrats in the minority, have been heard from over the last months. You changed that. Here's some more of the political reaction we've seen.
What Cory Booker did over the last 24 hours may have changed the course of political history, but he struck the kind of tone that grassroots Democrats are looking for.
By the way, Frank Luntz is also an AIPAC puppet. That guy who was just speaking there, also AIPAC puppet.
Democrat actually doing something. Wow. I mean, wow. That's the longest someone's held Congress captive since January 6th.
We need that kind of energy coming from the Democrats. People feel that no one is fighting for them. And when I look at Cory Booker, I feel like Cory Booker is fighting for them.
So what this compilation here shows me is that once again, corporate media received the same PR talking point. You guys ever notice they say the same things, right? They work in tandem together. So it's like whatever The View says, you'll hear MSNBC say it, CNN will say it, Charlemagne will say it. They all have the same talking point. That in itself should tell you something. And now their talking point and their idea is to persuade you that Cory Booker is doing something, that he's really out there fighting. But even Nina Turner told you herself that that's not a filibuster because he's not grandstanding against any type of legislation or nominee. What I'm trying to tell you is that they're tricking you. They're tricking people. They want you to think, oh my God, he really did something. I saw it today on Facebook. Even some of the people I went to high school with, they were like, I hope he runs for president. Oh my God, did you see what Cory Booker did? I hope he really wins. And I'm like, and you guys fall right for it. That's exactly what they want you to think. He ran for president in 2020. Why you didn't say nothing about him then? Why weren't they pushing him then? Everyone asked these questions. Why weren't they pushing him in 2020? Why wasn't corporate media pushing him in 2020? That's how the media works. So Cory is like out there and, you know, his eyes all wide open and super pumped and excited. And he's like, oh my God, this is so great. I love that people are doing these things, yada, yada. So let me tell you what he didn't talk about. He is out there speaking against Donald Trump's agenda, rightfully so. But one of the things that's part of Donald Trump's agenda is the removal of the Palestinians from Gaza. One of the things a part of his agenda is backing Benjamin Netanyahu and his destruction of Gaza right now and him taking over Gaza. Don't forget, there has not been food entering Gaza since a little over a month. It's been about a month now. They are starving. And when Cory Booker got up there to speak, he decided to speak in favor of Israel. He didn't say anything about them damn kids in Gaza. When Cory Booker was up there talking for 25 hours, did he say anything about reparations? When he was up there talking for 25 hours, did he say anything about police brutality? Did he say anything about impoverished Black communities? Did he say anything about people trying to just live in this country and they're living between paycheck to paycheck? Did he say anything about that? Because here's the thing. Even Wyatt Reed points this out. Hours Yap 25. Pro-Israel pins dawned 1. Boast about Abraham Accords 1. Mentions of Gaza Holocaust 0. Now, here is Cory Booker. When he's up there speaking, of course, he has on the pro-Israel pen, okay? So for the people saying that he's out there championing people and he's some damn fighter, if he really out there championing and fighting for the oppressed people, why does he have on the Israel pen? Why does he have on the pen for the state of Israel? Why does he have that on? Why doesn't he have on a pen of a Palestinian flag? You can't sit up here and say you're standing up for the oppressed if you stand with the oppressors. You can't say that, okay? But what did he say? What did he go into? Oh, look at this right here. I am grateful that we were the founders of the Black Jewish Caucus, the Juneteenth Cedars coming up, Booker told Rosen, referring to a group that formed in 2021. I'm going to put this on as you have it on. And as I think about Eden Alexander and all those who are suffering, I'm just so grateful for our friendship and what we've done against anti-Semitism, what we've done for the Abraham Accords. Did Cory Booker, when he was up there for 25 hours, did he say anything about people, Black people suffering right here in this country? How you suffering when everybody in your country got health care? How you suffering when everybody in the country is able to go to college for free? How are you suffering if you are occupying another group of people? How are you suffering if the United States is giving you $3.8 billion a year? Because you see, all of a sudden, the media wants you to draw your eye to Cory Booker, and they want to show you that this is the type of person you should vote for. This is the type of person that we want to see run for president, as if he didn't already run before. We want to see him run for president, and that's the person that can help the Democrats win. They want to convince you of this. And for the Black folks, they want you to vote for him because he's Black. That's it. That's it. Even though you see who he chose to prioritize when he spoke for 25 hours, right? They want you to vote for this guy who is sitting up there taking all this money from AIPAC. And that's just some of it. He's very corporate. There's nothing grassroots about Cory. How much he's received from the pro-Israel lobby. They want you to believe that this guy who actively went to an AIPAC meeting and told them how to recruit Black people. They want you to believe that this is the person that's going to look out for the Black community. And I can hear it right now. God damn it. You should vote for Cory Booker because he's Black. He's Black just like you. Didn't we do this with Barack Obama? How'd that work out? Who did he look out for? Cory Booker don't care about you. Cory Booker cares about his own political career. They want you to believe that this guy who was willing to sell you out to these Zionists, they want you to believe that he is going to be best for the Black community. Watch him in action.
A couple more questions. One more question, Barry. Barry says, Barry has spoken. This is a lot of pressure. The last question. I know. You spoke a lot about hope, and obviously you are someone who is very pro-Israel. We also heard beautiful remarks about some of the students on traditionally Black colleges, leadership, and what they've done. But could you give us your own evaluation of the African American leadership in the United States, and what is their feeling about Israel? And because oftentimes I think locally outside of New York, we find that there is becoming greater identification not with the history of Israel and what Israel's become, but with the sufferings of the Palestinians without any, really understanding of the history with Israel.
So let me pause here for a second. This is them openly admitting that the Palestinians are suffering, openly admitting that in this AIPAC meeting. And they have this clown, Cory Booker, up there, and Cory Booker is supposed to help them get Black people to move away from the Palestinian people and support the cause of Israel. They want people who have been oppressed to move away from other people who have been oppressed to support the oppressor. And someone like Cory was willing to do it.
African American leadership.
Well, look, Blacks are always going to be, as Jews are, I think, always going to be some of the first to sign up to address the suffering of others. And we shouldn't be afraid of that within the Black community, within the Jewish community, within whatever community. But when it comes to justice for Israel and understanding any suffering within context, we need to be more vigilant than we're being right now. And so within the Black community, and I say this all the time, and you asked specifically about Black leadership. First of all, this excites me like never before, because Obama is a raindrop compared to the storm that's coming of young Black leaders around this country who are phenomenally qualified, phenomenally experienced. You're going to see more Black governors, you're going to see more Black senators, you're going to see critical that you continue to find, not them when they're Congress people, you find those Black leaders when they're 22-year-olds at Oxford, when they're 24-year-olds as a city council president.
So do you see what he did? I know I've shown this video on this channel before, but he's basically telling them, go find Black people when they're in college, or go find them when they're city council. Go latch yourself onto them then. Don't wait till they're a congressperson. This guy is a fucking clown. He's literally sitting there selling out his own people to a Zionist supremacist state. And he don't give a damn because he paid. So I don't give a damn. All that work that you supposedly did in Newark, Cory, I don't give a damn. That shit don't matter no more. You sold out your own people to supremacy so that you can still cut a check. Like, this is like seriously unreal. You wouldn't think you would see this on camera, but here we are. Here we are. I'll let this wrap up here.
And you go to them then and say, come to Israel. Let us start showing you what this is about. That's what a key mission of AIPAC that must continue, which is finding future leaders, young leaders in America. I bet the
Yeah. So Black people are not stupid. By the way, that film that was captured by Zed Gilani, journalist, he was there. So he captured that information. And then here's another one. I think I have the one of Cory Booker with Rabbi Shmuley as well. Let me just double check. If not, I can just pull it up because I think people need to see this as well. This guy's a whole ass clown. And that's what corporate media, they want you to believe that this is the dude. Like, this is who you need to be looking at right now. So look at this. And again, Wyatt Reed was really on it. If you were surprised to find out Cory Booker had a rabbi, wait till you find out who it is. Cory Booker's rabbi has notes on Cory Booker's 25-hour speech. Rabbi Shmuley helped launch the senator's career and taught him thousands of hours of Torah. So you guys see the connection here? Everybody see what's going on? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So I don't give a damn that he spoke for 25 hours. This is his friend. That's his buddy. This is his friend. That's his buddy. Do you guys understand? Black people, Cory Booker is never going to prioritize you. This is why I say black faces in high places are not going to save you. That's his friend, the supremacist. These politicians are jokes, and corporate media doesn't want to tell you this. And they don't want to tell you he didn't say anything about Gaza. He didn't get into the issues that black communities have to deal with. They just want you to know that he spoke longer than Strom Thurmond. Congratulations. You spoke longer than a racist. Congratulations. It is a toxic, crazy hellhole. When I say it's total chaos, it's total chaos. I will not allow my people to be brainwashed again by the likes of another Obama type figure. I will not allow that to happen. I fell for it. I'm not going to allow you guys to fall for it again, especially the younger people. I will not allow you to fall for another Obama type figure. This guy is a fraud. He's a clown. And I don't care how big his eyes get. If you pay attention, you can see through him too. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.